Welcome to Crohn's and Coffee with Lori and Kate, a podcast about spirituality. Real, raw, and authentic, and lots of laughs. Good morning, Kate.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
I feel like we haven't done this physically in a long time, except for last week.
That was like a fever dream last week. Wasn't real. Our listeners need to know that we actually tried this last week and we did it. We spent time on it and did it, but then we had a couple monkey wrenches thrown at us in the middle of recording. So we scrapped it.
We scrapped it. So what ended up happening was, for whatever reason, we figured out afterwards the mics weren't working or something. I don't know, but it wasn't picking up our voices well. And then I had a mystery guest show up to check the electrical box here at the studio. So we had knocking on the door and pausing of the...
Oh, I completely paused it and pretty much erased the entire episode. Yep, that was me.
So we decided, screw it, it wasn't meant to be. And so now we're starting fresh.
It does feel better, doesn't it?
It does feel better.
It feels better.
So I don't know. Here we are trying this again. And just in time.
Oh my God, it's right on the edge of fall.
For the autumn equinox, or Mabon, whatever part of the country you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace however you want to pronounce this.
Spelled Mabon.
Yes. So I'm going to say Mabon, because I'm Lori and it's New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
New Hampshire. But anyways, it's often referred to as the autumn equinox. It's a time of balance, reflection, and gratitude, and it can be celebrated around September 21st to 24th in the Northern Hemisphere. It marks the moment when day and night are equal in length, symbolizing the harmonious balance between light and dark. This pagan festival is rooted in ancient traditions. It's a time to honor the harvest, give thanks for the abundance of the earth, and prepare for winter. I don't want to say that yet. I love summer, but if you lived in New Hampshire or in that area, this summer has been brutal with the humidity.
I've been in my cabin. I've been hiding, so I haven't noticed as much. People are saying that, but I've been in my little cabin crafting.
It has been brutally humid.
The humidity, yeah.
The only reason I noticed that is because we were waiting for the new air conditioning unit to come in. So we were without one, and I was walking barefoot in my house as I normally do. And I was like sticking to the floor, the wood floors. I was like, oh God. It was pretty gross. But Mabon is one of the 8 Sabbats in the wheel of the year. So this is a time to celebrate the harvest.
Yeah.
From the summer.
Mm-hmm.
The harvest from, the fall things too. So apples, pumpkins, squash, root vegetables, things of that nature. But this is considered a time of perfect balance, equal parts of day and equal parts of night, the autumn equinox. It's rich in traditions and symbols that reflect the themes of balance and gratitude. And one of the most prominent symbols of Mabon is the harvest itself. Okay, here's a word I'm going to have a hard time saying. Cornucopias.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I was like, cornucopia is like the biggest, is probably one of the most symbolic images for this time of year, especially with Thanksgiving around the corner as well.
Yeah, and it's also known as the Horns of Plenty. And it's a common decoration filled with fruits, vegetables, grains, and nuts.
No corn?
I don't know. it says fruits and vegetables. So
Vegetables, yeah. Corn's a big one too, isn't it? Corn
Yeah.
stalks, and I got
absolutely,
two
absolutely.
two cobs of corn my sister gave me from her garden that never made it to the fridge. So now I'm just drying them out on my altar.
Oh, nice, nice. And these are the symbols of abundance, and are often displayed on altars or as centerpieces during feasts. You can also decorate your homes or altars with, of course, the obvious autumn leaves, acorns, pine cones, or other natural items to bring the spirit of the season indoors. And you can have an altar outside.
Yep.
Too. I have a little space outside that I like to kind of.
Gosh, we should do a whole podcast on altars.
Right.
We haven't done that.
That's the next topic. Stay tuned. So Maven is a time for introspect, gratitude, looking at your inner self. Many people create gratitude lists. They write in journals. Or participate in meditation to reflect on the past year. It's an ideal time for setting intentions and making plans for the future by taking stock of what we have and expressing our thanks. There's several rituals and things you can do to celebrate that, and one of the things I like to do during this time of year is take a walk in the woods, go for a hike, and actually look at what's happening around you.
It's kind of fun too. I started my garden a month late this year, so I'm actually just now starting to get cucumbers and tomatoes, and like I'm kind of excited that I'll be able to milk the last warm days of summer, and I'll have like a. And I'm noticing that a lot of things in my garden are no longer, they're starting to pass and turn, and it's exciting. But there's some new things that bloom late in the season, or like berries form on plants, like you've gotten to know all summer, and then all of a sudden this bud forms, and you're like, what is that?
Right?
It's the end of August. What's it doing?
It's like the last hurrah.
Yeah. And I do think there is like a second wind there when it comes to the nature. Environment. Right now, about 2 weeks ago, acorns started falling in the forest, and it's funny because the sooner we go, or the further into fall we get, the more acorns drop at night, and everybody who's over my house thinks that there's like ghouls in the woods.
Yeah.
Like people walking around, but it's just a couple of acorns.
We have a few trees like that in our yard too, with the acorns, and I feel like I have to go in my backyard with a helmet because I'm gonna get pinged in the head by one.
Yeah, my car has dents on the roof.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yep.
So if you go into the woods or a local farm, or simply spend time in your garden, you can observe the changing colors of the leaves. And do you even notice like the air changes? The smell in the air changes. I love that smell.
That's because everything's starting to like turn, and
it's like there's an
energy. There's a funk.
There's
a funk. It's like spring.
But I like the smell of it because for me, I don't know, maybe it has some kind of core memory that I haven't quite unlocked yet. Because when I smell that, it always brings me a feeling of peace.
Well, it's like when you jump in the leaves.
Yeah.
You don't anticipate the smell.
Yeah.
As a kid, I would just jump in and I'd be like, whoa, there's all sorts of smells going on with the leaves.
And that's what's kind of cool about this time of year, is that you can bring in mindfulness, meditation, as you're like walking around.
Just don't get hit with an acorn.
Yeah, just don't get hit with an acorn.
I'm having a lot of crows in my yard too.
Us too.
Yeah, I don't think I noticed that last couple of years. This year is like very prominent, right? They're up in the field more.
They're flying all around our house, and my husband and I actually started putting some things out to try to make crow friends. So like we've been putting peanuts out.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Aaron will get mad at me if I do that because I'll attract squirrels in the house. I did that one year.
Oh, we put them right on our porch, like on the railing of the porch. So
yeah,
we haven't had squirrels yet find them, but we'll leave them out for a few hours and then we bring them in because I don't want to be
Right.
attracting all
No,
the
I didn't think of that.
squirrels and
Aaron's like,
things, but
you're attracting. Our house is different. Ours is.
we have quite a bit too.
We have a lot of penetrative areas in our cabin.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think there's actually things living with us in the house. Like I've gotten used to the possum in the wall.
Yeah.
He's like a roommate at this point.
I definitely think we have a squirrel or something in our attic because I hear the,
yeah.
and I'm like, I don't
man.
hear an abundance of it, so I'll coexist with you for now.
It's usually when the nights get cold
Yes.
and they start to
Yes.
want to worm their way in your home because they can tell it's warm. And
yeah. So nature walks can be a form of a meditative state, helping you to feel grounded and connected to the earth. So, like walking meditations, and what I mean by that is you're not just walking and going om as you walk through the woods. Like it's walking through the woods
with awareness,
without your phone, and being aware of your presence in that moment.
Right.
So use all of your senses, and I don't mean like go up and lick a tree. Okay. I mean, you can if you want to, but
don't discriminate, Lori.
If you want to lick a tree, you can.
I identify as
no
a birch.
judgment. No judgment if you want to lick a tree. I don't advise it, but hey, each their own. But use all your senses, your sight. Look at the colors, the textures, feel the textures. Feel the ground. Take your shoes off for a minute. Stick your feet in the earth. Smell. What can you smell? Taste. What can you taste? Sometimes you can taste things in the air. Maybe you taste what you had for lunch, or maybe you have a snack with you and you're tasting that.
Think about what you want to leave behind,
Right.
Like the leaves are passing, the berries are falling, and like, what are you going to slough off for next year?
Right.
That's what I like to like. What was my harvest? What would my harvest be if I were to bear fruit right now?
Right. That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
very
not going to
good
answer that in the
question.
podcast. That's a personal one.
Right. But of
There's
course,
some things, but yeah, you want to like sow your seeds for next year. Is that the word? Is that the right way to use it? I don't know. But always thinking about the next. So I did a ritual for Mabon. I can't remember exactly what the ritual was, but I saw it commonly used in other temples that I would visit randomly. And there's a spiral. So you're talking about walking, right? Like a nature walk.
Yeah.
But they create like a labyrinth, like a spiral labyrinth during this time of year.
Oh.
And if it's a
What is that
spiral.
called?
Yeah, it has like a specific.
Yeah.
So I think the word labyrinth is used, even though it's not really. I guess you do hit walls and you go and you eventually find the center. And I believe you usually carry a light with you, and you're representing the even day and night.
I wish I remembered what that's called. If anyone knows, comment below.
But you'll find them in New England if you go to like any like nature school will have something like that the children can get involved in creating the spiral labyrinth to represent the changing of the season.
Yeah.
So that's another meditative walk you could do.
For some reason, I feel like it's a Celtic
Probably.
term. Oh, I could be thinking of something else, but if anyone knows, feel free to comment below and help us out.
I've seen it at least 3 times.
Yes, I know what you're talking about, and I know there's a word for it. And
I was specifically watching the Mabon ritual. There was one that I participated in to some degree, so I do remember that one. And there's a story about Mabon is actually like the son of the Mother Earth. I can't remember exactly, and he's in the center, and the mother goes to him with the light. There's something going on.
There's so many, because different cultures celebrate basically the same thing.
Or the beginning of the year is like it's now for pagans, I believe.
Yes.
Or like our New Year's is this time of year.
But there's so many cultures and traditions, and basically we're all celebrating the same thing, but it's got variations and
it's basically
different deities,
humans recognizing that this is a very, very magical time of year,
right?
And however they interpret it,
right?
And want to celebrate.
And I'm all about like, however you want to celebrate this time of year,
you do you, boo.
You do you, exactly. And none of it is right or wrong. It's whatever feels right to you. And whatever feels right to me, whatever feels right to Kate, like whatever you enjoy, just do it. And don't try to tell someone else like, hey, that's not right, or don't do that, or don't
What
do
do
this.
we
Like,
share more than we
yeah,
dictate.
like don't steal another person's joy, and don't tell another person how they should be celebrating their path. It's their path, their journey, and whatever they're doing is not hurting you. So let them, don't steal their joy. Let's try and like get that
Share.
message across.
Share.
Like, and sadly, I'm going to bring this up. Sadly, a lot of people in this community, they're like cutthroat. I'm going to just come right out and say it. Like, guys, there's enough division in the world that as a spiritual community, we should be embracing each other, lifting each other up, and cheering the other woman on, or the other person on, the other man, the other person, the other human. Cheer them on. You know, no matter what they're doing, lift them up. Like this bashing within the spiritual community, like, is mind-boggling.
I think it's everywhere. Everybody's. I think
it is. It is
the word
everywhere.
of the century, the word of the decade, is going to be cancel. I think everybody's so quick to cancel each other.
But that's the thing. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, there's enough of that. The spiritual community should be the leaders and teaching people that that's not what we do.
Cancel myself.
Right. We're here but we're here to lift each other up. And I love that quote that says, you know, fix another woman's crown without letting the world know it was crooked in the first place.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, just be kind to each other, people. Come on. All right. I got off on a tangent there.
It's okay. You felt moved to do so.
I did.
You could do it again.
I'm just saying, like, the spiritual community.
Well, we got to slough off.
We need to embrace each other and work together. And Kate knows where I'm coming from. We work together since day one.
We are going to work together. We are.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're bringing on other people. Look at us bringing on other people and lifting them up. We had Vicky, Victoria from Eye of Ethereal.
Yeah.
We had Shella Cross from the New England Mermaid.
A lot, actually.
Carmen Hazelton photography.
These little intimate get-togethers have been real fun.
Hannah, Banana, and Heather from
It's
Together We Heal.
Love about this is like similar to, you know, I'm always talking about music management. Like, the one thing I absolutely adored was featuring artists and interviewing them.
Yeah.
And just getting down to the nitty-gritty of everything in like a granular sense. Like, okay, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? You know, and really getting to know each other on a one-on-one basis. And been doing that here. It's been really cool.
Yeah. And we've got coming up special guest Mike.
Oh, I'm so excited about that. And his
daughter from New Hampshire Paranormal Group.
Yeah, you added me to the group.
Yeah.
So I've been watching. I've just been kind of watching it, and I don't know how I'm going to participate yet, but I'm just excited to see what's it called? What's the page group?
New Hampshire. So it's NHPG, New Hampshire Paranormal Group. Their tagline is "Respect the Dead."
It's a father-daughter.
Father-daughter. They just started a hobby, and they're blowing up.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing that
I can't wait to meet them. So they're coming in for a podcast tomorrow.
Yeah. Super awesome guy. He's come to the studio a few times now. I met him and his daughter. They're big fans of mine, so that's cool. So that's a plus. But I'm gonna be very supportive of them as well, which is why I talked to you about inviting him onto a podcast with us. So
yeah,
super stoked about that. But anyways, Mabon.
Maboon.
Okay.
Mabon.
Mabon.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you French? Oui.
14%.
Why do we always?
This is why you listen to us, folks, because we're funny. At least we think we're funny.
We think we're funny, yeah.
What else can we do during this festive time of the year? We can gather friends and family for a harvest feast. You can cook seasonal ingredients like breads and apple pies.
It's like the
and-
most stimulating time of year. There's so much that you can do. I just do it naturally. Half the time I don't even think of it, you know.
I know, right?
Lighting candles, wearing big sweaters,
Yeah. Look
tea,
what I have on today.
pumpkin
Giant
spice.
sweatshirt. Ooh, my dad was here visiting from Florida. Got me pumpkin spice coffee. Can I tell you how excited I was about that?
Is it in the coffee shops? Does it come?
I have no idea yet.
I see he brought it to you specifically from the
Yes,
source,
Yes.
from the pumpkin spice gods.
From the pumpkin spice gods, and I left an offering of thanks.
Mm.
Can I just talk about my dad for a minute?
Yeah,
So,
go dad. Your dad's adorable. I remember he gave me a scratch ticket.
oh, he's so cute. So he came. He visited us from Florida. He does it once a year. He comes in the summer, and this is the first time he's seen the studio.
Oh,
He came to every single meditation. He had his chair. That I have chairs now, in zero gravity chairs now in the studio for meditations. So he had his chair, and it was the same chair every time he came. It was Dad's chair. You know, he set up his stuff. So I came in here yesterday. We had meditation at 5:00, and it was the first one that because he's gone home now.
mm-hmm.
And I looked at the chair, and it was empty, and I literally started crying.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
So I took a picture, and
Oh,
I took a picture, and I took, the dad face emoji,
yes.
put it in the chair. It was just a head in the chair.
So this floating dad head.
And I sent it to him, and I said, Dad, I missed you. Your chair's empty. And I said, I can't believe I'm crying over an empty chair. And he sent me the sweetest text back.
Probably so proud of you.
And he said, my heart is heavy too today, dear one. Because, and he set up that the space was lovely, and he missed it, and he loved me and stuff. But I literally sat there, and I looked at the chair and started crying over an empty chair. So what I took with that is that I made wonderful memories with him, and he made a big impact with his energy.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I took that moment and was grateful that I got to have that time with him.
Right.
And that's part of like what this season is about is
I think a lot of it
being grateful and reflecting on the past year,
right,
and being thankful for those things in your life.
I think people
See how I brought that around?
yeah. Well, good job. The be here now concept, I think, and people talk about magic and if it's real and all that. And I really think there's a certain responsibility that we all need to take to, if we want to participate in that community, in that realm, and like walk the walk, then you got to really like hone in on your ability to be grateful in the moment and taking snapshots. So if you've ever suffered from PTSD, you know that you can actually store memories, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So once you figure that out, you're like, oh, I wonder if I can do that with good things. Great news.
Can you?
Yes, you can. It involves people like Lori to facilitate meditation, so you get in a trance-like state, so you have an ability to like open your mind to relive and be here now in moments that no longer exist. So like you're talking about this moment with your dad. I've had similar experiences just waking up in the morning, looking at my cats with the sun shining in, knowing my partner's asleep upstairs snoring, and like the winds in the trees, and I'm in a cabin in the woods. And wouldn't right now be a great time to just encapsulate this in my memory? So when I'm at the dentist chair, or I'm
Freaking
having
out, you have
road
something
rage,
nice to think
or
about.
something scares me, I have this great like capacity to dip into my library of really
That's
impactful,
awesome.
fond memories. And sometimes it's as simple as your dad participating, in this really vulnerable state. Like I don't think my father would have. That is not something every parent would do, probably, depending on the type of community you were brought up in or culture you were brought up in. So, I think being able to tuck that away is very useful. Especially like you're saying now, this time of year.
And he tried the sound lounge. He did a 65-minute sound lounge. And what's funny is, I don't know if the listeners know, but
my full-time job is social media marketing, and I do the social media marketing for the Addiction Recovery Center here in New Hampshire, which is here in Milford, New Hampshire, which is right next door to the studio here on Elm Street. So I hooked my dad up, I locked the doors, and I went next door to a meeting. And then he knew I was leaving. I told him I was leaving, and he was fine with that because I locked him in. But as I'm in the meeting next door with Gray, the executive director, a fire truck goes by. So I jump up and I look to see if my building is fine. I come back in, and Gray's like, "What's the matter?" And I'm like, "I want to make sure my dad was on fire."
In your sound lounge.
In my sound lounge, and he was fine and safe. And I had my meeting, came back before my father was finished with the sound lounge, and he came out. Didn't know I even had come and gone. I mean, he did. I told him, but
Right.
He was completely lost in La La Land on the sound lounge. But so those are the things that, you know, I do keep a gratitude journal. So I had written those things down. So, you know, when you create a gratitude journal, it can help you focus on the positive aspects of your life, and it cultivates a mindset of abundance and appreciation. So that's why it's important to.
Also attracts it to you.
It does, and you know, being happy is actually hard work for most people because we're not hardwired that way, and the fact that, you know, social media bombards us with negative all the time. That's why it's good, like, sometimes to just step away.
We should do like a challenge where you and me don't use our social media for like a week.
Well, unfortunately,
I know.
Social media marketing, I do that for a living.
I know. That's what I mean. Could you imagine a world where
I know. But
where you're actually
and if I'm being honest,
yeah,
if it wasn't for my job, I wouldn't have social media.
Yeah.
Because it's so toxic.
Oh yeah.
I had actually joined a group.
I had to take a break.
A pagan community group. I think I lasted 5 minutes in it because the amount of toxicity, that's a hard word for me to say too. English is my first language, people. I just, my mouth doesn't work sometimes. But it was so toxic. And this is what I'm talking about. Like,
right.
People,
it gets
please
clicky. It gets real clicky.
Be better. Especially, you know, like, this group was all about like seeking revenge and what spell can I do to hurt my ex. It's like,
oh, man,
you know what? Sometimes you just gotta unfollow.
Save those conversations for like.
But sometimes you just have to unfollow people in real life.
Yes, I saw your post about that. Yep.
And that's what prompted me to make that post because, like, you're just harboring. Like, if it's an ex, let it be your ex. Like, let it go.
Let it go.
And it took me years to figure that out, but I'm much happier for it.
Yes, I always found to be a singular solitary practitioner made more sense to me than being a part of a large group.
If you have
I always have that to go back to.
If you have the right people.
Exactly. It's like any relationship.
You gotta find your people.
Right. It's like any relationship where you have to, like, you know, some of it's you're going to find each other if you're meant to.
Right.
Yeah.
So another part of this time of year is about balance. So consider areas of your life where you might need more harmony in it, like balancing work, rest, and play, social activities, alone time, giving, receiving,
social media.
Yeah. Set intentions to bring more balance into your life and take steps to achieve it. So I think that's a big part of what people forget about practicing witchcraft or practicing magic. It's like, I wish to lose weight.
No, you got to take the steps.
But
you got to show.
Yes, you can wish that or manifest that or say, I want to be healthy, or you actually want to say it in the present tense. Yeah. So you say
I am healthy.
I am healthy. I am at my desired weight. but then you can't turn around and go eat ring dings. Like, it doesn't work that way. So you manifest it verbally, but then you also take action steps to help you get to that place.
I think that's faith in a nutshell. Kind of, because like I've always found that like I'm like that's faith in the sense that like you're gonna set the intention, but then you have to do the work,
Right.
to show that you're willing to. You can't just ask, for lack of a better word, let's say the universe, right? Whatever, God or whatever, like the universe. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, universe, I want to be a really popular and successful musician. Well, I gotta learn how to play the instrument.
Right. You can't just
I gotta
pick up
sing.
a flute and be Jethro Tull.
And if I keep at it and learn more about the music industry and show the universe that I care, maybe someday an opportunity will arise.
Yeah.
I won't just be given a contract, you know,
Right.
it's like Rick Rubin isn't going to come knocking on my door tomorrow. Like,
Right.
how would you know, and make sure your expectation is realistic,
Yeah.
you know, and then every once in a while the universe will surprise you with something, you know, because I have faith that it will see.
I had
The
someone
work.
famous in my house last weekend.
Oh, man. I need another coaster.
I had someone famous in my house.
Are you
last
talking
weekend.
about? I don't know if I know who you're talking about. Are you talking about Slater? Yes. Yeah, it's your brother-in-law. Yeah,
Yes.
I saw pictures.
Slater, my brother-in-law. We
You
did.
didn't tell me. I couldn't go like fangirl outside his house or outside your house and try to.
I invited you, woman.
Oh, did you?
I absolutely did.
Didn't even notice. I'm so sorry. I didn't even get the invitation.
Oh, Facebook invite.
I'm so popular and busy. At home making voodoo dolls.
And oh my God, those things are the cutest, and I'm probably gonna steal some.
See that. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad I got to enjoy the pictures.
Yeah,
Yes.
we did the hot ring challenge, the
Lori's-
hot ones, whatever it's called.
Lori's brother-in-law is very cool, but your sister is equally as cool as well.
Yes, she's actually. I think next week she's releasing the
Yeah.
third book of her trilogy.
I just get real excited about industrial music, so that
She's got a trilogy book. It's
have you ever considered her for?
spicy.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Very
Yes, it is.
spicy, X-rated in some spots, but a great. The character is. I've read all two now. Actually, there's three, but Mr. Nightmare isn't part of the trilogy, but is one of the characters within the trilogy. She kind of broke off. But I'm excited to read the last book of the trilogy.
You're like a famous couple.
I know.
You're like the Brangelina. What's their couple name?
Um,
Colin and Rachel. That's a hard one. Rachel and Colin. How do you?
Culchel. Rachelin.
Rachelin.
Don't hurt ourselves.
That's hard. That's difficult. It's not
Well,
like Brangelina.
Her pen name for the spicy books is Ariel Ray.
Nice.
That's still hard.
I know.
I'm gonna hurt my brain thinking of it. Anyways, Maybon.
Maybon. Thanks for the invite, by the way. Sorry, I'm a jerk.
Oh,
Let's see it.
it's fine. I figured with all this stuff you were going through.
Yeah. I could have whistled. I don't know. The little screws in my face. I can barely do it.
Oh. So, okay, so other things you can do during this time of year is craft and decorate.
I got the 6 teeth from my surgery that I can play with for this year's ritual.
Oh, well, that's something. I don't know what to say.
I don't know why I thought of that. Like, I'm going to put my own teeth on my altar.
For those that don't know, Kate had some dental stuff
I had a
done,
lot of teeth pulled out. Yep.
and she had some issues with it. So
Much better, but
that's why we did a little pause with the podcast because Kate was recovering.
I sound all snaky and issy.
And
I've gotten better.
Snake.
Snake.
I'm a
Snake.
snake. Oh God.
I've been doing that since I got them removed. I'm a sneaky snake.
Crafting.
What can we do with Kate's teeth for Maybon?
You could make a teeth wreath.
Teeth wreath. A teeth wreath.
Teeth wreath. You can make wreaths with autumn leaves.
Yep.
You can carve pumpkins and put Kate's teeth in the pumpkin.
Don't forget turnips.
Turnips. Oh God, that was a whole thing on the on the missing podcast that we didn't create.
Lori was fixated on carving.
It was, but that's the next episode.
Turnips.
That's the next one. That's
Sorry.
the next one. Cornucopias. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you
I
are.
feel like I'm saying it wrong.
Nope, you're saying it absolutely correct.
Awesome. So you can decorate your home with these symbols of the harvest, which can bring the spirits.
It's so hard because you want to
Into
go
your life.
straight to Halloween. You want to go straight to Spooky Town, but you can't yet. It's Maybach. I mean, you can, but like,
To what? Samhain?
Yeah, Samhain.
Samhain?
Samhain.
Everyone I know, they're
I
like,
said Samhain for years.
whenever I hear that, my eye twitches.
It's like when people call it tarots. Called tarot tarots. I've told you about that.
No.
I went to a pagan festival like 5 years ago in Nashua, and this woman came up to me and said, "Have you seen the tarots?"
What are tarots?
She was talking about tarot cards.
Stop it.
Stop. It took me a minute to figure it out. I'm like, what is she talking about tarots? And she's pointing to the tarot card sign.
Tarots.
She was calling them tarots. Like,
No.
and I
I shouldn't be one to say anything. 'cause
oh my Lord, though,
I
that
can't
was a good
speak,
one.
so-
Though. That was funny. That one was, I don't know. Samhain, I get because you don't
I
hear
think you're
Samhain.
probably trying to phonetically say it.
Yeah,
but it
you
is
don't
Samhain.
You don't hear Samhain
Right.
often. You hear tarot often.
Right.
So this one was. I gave myself liberty to laugh at her behind her back. I just nudged the vendor next to me and I was like, "Hey, do you have tarots?" And we both kind of went.
Do you have tarots for the parrots?
No, I don't have Tourette's. I don't have Tourette's. That's what it sounds like.
I've never heard anyone say it like that.
Well,
Interesting.
maboom.
That's not how you say it. Okay, just it's
Tarot.
thank you. You can also participate in ritual if you're inclined toward spiritual practice. Consider performing a ritual. This could involve something simple like lighting a candle. You can do orange, red, or gold are the colors. You can say a prayer or a mantra. You can create an altar. Rituals can help deepen your connection to the themes of whatever season is happening. You can do it with, you can buy all the metaphysical tools if you want, if you like those things. I do, so I have most of them. But I like them. But you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can go right outside.
Yep.
Whatever season it is, utilize the things that are in your area. That's kind of the point. And why the wheel turns, because it's to utilize what is happening in that season, in that moment, with the native things, the plants, the
It's supposed to connect you.
right. You're supposed to connect to the things that are within the area that you live in. So yeah. So this is a magical time of reflection and celebration of the earth's abundance and balance of the light and dark. Whether you follow ancient pagan traditions or simply appreciate the changing seasons, this is an opportunity to slow down, give thanks, and prepare for the cold winter months ahead.
Yeah, everybody's
Dun,
getting
dun,
ready to
dun.
send their kids back to school soon. It does feel like the beginning of a year, doesn't it? Because like school starts and like that's when the holidays start. I could see why it would be perceived in some cultures as the beginning of something.
Yep. Yep. And now that I'm thinking of it, because this will probably be out before this event, so I'm going to mention it.
Yes.
You and your bestie can celebrate Magical Mabon with us here September 14th at 10 a.m. for a magical photo shoot. So Shella Cross from the New England Mermaid and Siren Art Studio will be here. You can bring an outfit that you can, change into. It's magical, mystical, so you can wear whatever you want, but the idea is to...
I think I saw a picture of a shoot similar to what you're saying on your Facebook page.
Yep, we did one not too long ago, but this is going to be...
She's fun too.
Yeah.
She's a fun ball of energy.
It's going to be a fall theme, obviously, so But we will have props,
Yeah.
and we will have a few things that you can change into, but obviously
bring
your own, because
What
we
you're
are
comfortable
limited on
in.
sizes
Yeah.
with what we have to offer. But she superimposes these really magical backgrounds, and so she does excuse me, intuitive photography.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll snap your pictures on a blank canvas in the background, and then she does these magical
Mm-hmm.
things behind it. It's really an amazing process to see, and she does great stuff. So
You can just go on the website to.
Yep, mysticmarketnh.com. So the hours are between 10 and 1:30 p.m. So you just buy your ticket and come anytime between those hours, between 10 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. We're done at 1:30, so don't show up at 1:30. But basically, you're gonna get, one change of clothing,
Yeah.
and then you will receive digital print that you can do whatever you want with, and she will offer you the other digital prints in a package or singular. If you want to purchase more, you can print them on canvases, or whatever you want to do with them.
Yeah.
Make cards to send out for the holidays, whatever you want to do with them. We had a mother-daughter do it the last time, and they were
It'd be fun to do like a
super
back to
awesome,
school
yeah.
Harry Potter thing.
right. But they had such a good time, the mother-daughter team that came here for the last one, and the daughter said, I want to bring my friends, so
Cool.
so maybe they'll bring friends next time. But that's happening on September 14th. It's all on the website, mysticmarketnh.com. Let's talk about the event that you're hosting, Bizarre Bazaar.
Yep, that's October 26th, so we got some time. It's a town event for the town of Wilton, so you can go to visit wilton.com to learn about the town's events, which is family friendly, but I'm incongruent with that, hosting the Bizarre Bazaars. This will be our 3rd year. And basically, I just go spooky. I just get real spooky in my studio. It's an all-day event. I do giveaways, a raffle. I have Ethereal doing tarot readings. I got Sally Terror Studio coming. Earthly Alon's bringing her jewelry.
Nice.
I'm going to cahoots
Nice
with.
lineup.
Yeah, Lori and I are going to do some kind of collaborative witchy wander. So if you wander to both of our studios, you get some kind of perk.
Yeah.
So we're working on that collaborate, because Lori's only 5 minutes from me. So
Right.
I was like, hey girl, if you're obviously going to be hosting an event, so you're doing a spell jar
Yeah,
workshop.
a Samhain spell jar workshop from 1 to 3.
So if
on
you
the
go
same
to-
day.
Yeah, if you come to Mystic Market and do that, and then you come to my shop or vice versa, you're now eligible to win a prize that we're going to put together. Or we're going to do something special
Yeah,
for those
yeah.
who want to double dip.
yeah, because we're all about the collab and
So
supporting each other. So.
That event is on Facebook right now, and I'm just going to start
Which
posting
event? The
in
Bizarre Bazaar.
Bizarre Bazaar. I cannot remember how to spell it. Every year I struggle. I think it's Bizzare.
It's the Bizarre Bazaar.
Bazaar. So there's like 2 A's and
Yeah,
2 Z's in there somewhere, but it is on our Prayers of Nature Facebook page, and I'll be posting updates in there. I'm going to get people who are going to be part of the event going in that event page, engaging with you guys. So
Awesome.
yeah, that's already up. That page is
Awesome.
already up. So
Awesome.
as we develop, things will be posted.
And when I get this podcast up, I'll link
Yeah.
in the description so that it'll be easy for our listeners to check it out, so they don't have to search for the
Mhm.
Bizarre Bazaar.
Yeah, and if you look up The Haunting of Wilton, because I'm the one promoting that event for the town, you will find my Prayers of Nature promos.
Nice.
Like they're just going to go hand in hand. So, but for The Haunting of Wilton, there are some cool things going on. They're doing a parade. I was going to do a costume contest. There's going to be live music downtown, trick-or-treating downtown.
Nice.
The library does spooky stories. Haunted trail is a big deal. So downtown Wilton, there's going to be a haunted trail that night
Nice.
by the police station with live
Is
music.
it really haunted?
I don't know. We'll have to ask your guests.
Oh, I wonder if he knows about that.
Yeah, it's more of a shticky thing. You know, it's not like it's donation based. So the guy who puts it together is named Randy. He's a really nice guy. He sets up creeps. He calls them creeps all downtown Wilton the week before. So when you start driving downtown Wilton, he sets up all the big creepy guys. There's like ghosts and witches.
Someone steal the pumpkin head last year?
Oh, maybe.
Some noob.
Maybe. But there's also a company of witches that comes as a group of witches.
Don't be a plebe.
Yeah, don't be a pleb. Don't ruin it for
Don't
Spooky Town
steal
for everybody.
stuff, people.
Yeah, it's
Come
not
on.
good karma.
Yeah, I think I remember that now because they posted it on, of course, the Milford.
It must have been Milford, not Wilton.
Maybe.
Yeah, because I think Wilton was fine. But Wilton's fun. If you like the Milford Pumpkin Festival, but you're overwhelmed by the crowds, great news.
When is that? Did they have a
That's
date
usually
for
the
that?
first weekend. Milford Pumpkin Festival is the first weekend of October.
Yeah. I try to steer clear because it's too much for
I
me.
vended it. I've been a part of the committee. It's really cool.
It is cool, but
I'm glad
it's
I
too
worked.
much for me.
I'm glad I worked with them. I put up a stage for a couple of years,
Yeah.
featured local musicians, and it was a
That's
lot
cool.
of work.
Yeah.
But there's something about the haunting of Wilton that's just more down to earth. It's not as overwhelming to participate in. You can find parking. You know, you can bring your
that's
kids.
Usually
You're not-
the issue is the parking.
Yeah, there's plenty of parking down by my mill.
And don't they? I think they shuttle people, right?
Yeah.
To the Pumpkin Fest.
Yeah, the Pumpkin Fest is 50,000 people
Yeah,
in
that's-
one day.
In the Oval, if you're familiar with the Oval,
Wilton
it's
is
not that big.
maybe 200 people.
Yeah, so you see the difference.
So you're bound to have more of a intimate experience
Yeah,
with the business owners, and you're less likely to. But once again, you could do both. We don't compete because,
Of course, yeah.
But I find the haunting to be right up my alley. Plus, it just feels more authentic. I mean, it's
Yeah.
downtown Wilton.
Yeah.
It's spooky. Wilton's spooky.
And it's the typical like New England feel, small town.
The Nelson's
Yeah.
Candy Shop.
Yeah.
Usually
I love that place.
Usually Wilton Town Hall Theater does a free movie, and I usually know what that movie is a couple weeks before the event, so I promote what is usually some kind of Alfred Hitchcock classic horror film he'll play, and you don't have to pay. So you just show up, come to Bizarre Bazaar, look at weird stuff, talk to weird people, go to the candy shop,
Look at
do
weird
trick or treating,
Look at weird stuff, talk to weird people.
see a creepy movie. When you're out of the movie, go down the haunted
Good
trail, have
times,
some
good
hot
times.
cider. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I love about this time of year too, like all the farm stands, like, oh my God, can we talk about Trombley Gardens freaking cider donuts?
Yes. Oh, I'm lucky. I have Windy Hill Orchard right up the street from my house.
God.
So I don't even need to
We're
go.
giving all kinds of people
I
plugs.
know.
today.
Windy Hill is I always get excited because I have to drive past Windy Hill just to get to my cabin. And once a year, it's flooded with tourists. And I actually don't hate it. I like the little, I like it because I can literally walk from my cabin to a farm stand and pet goats and pigs, have apple cider, and all these people from Massachusetts are fighting for parking. I'm like, I live right down the street. I can just walk through the apple orchard,
That's awesome.
get my fill, and then leave. I actually want to have a yard sale one of those weekends, so I get all that runoff foot traffic.
No joke. That'd be
Just
perfect.
set up my Prayers of Nature booth. We've joked about it.
Let's collab.
District Market Prayers of Nature right down the street, right on my property.
I'll play crystal
And
balls.
we'll get it done. You could do that at my house, by the way. We should talk about that for the summer.
We should actually.
Let's try next year to get you
That'd
on my
be
stage.
a super awesome way to just bring in the summer.
Yeah, and just get out of this space, you make you mobile, take
Yep.
you somewhere else.
Yep. Awesome.
Cool, guys.
All right. Well, I think that's all we got for this episode today.
Happy Maybon.
Yeah, and stay tuned because the next episode is going to be Samhain. Samhain. Whee!
Spooky time.
Okay, everyone, take care, and until next time, live, love, and magic.